Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk from the Crib. I'm your host, Tanner Christian. And coming up on today's episode, we'll get into the Week 9 marquee matchups in the NFL this upcoming weekend, including that game in Germany, where Tyreek Hill is facing his former team in the Kansas City Chiefs. We're getting into a little NBA talk. The in-season tournament starts today, so we'll get into that. And the James Harden trade. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions about James Harden finally getting traded and getting his wish. We're also going to talk about the quest for 2,000 receiving yards. Who has the better chance? Tyreek Hill promised us. Put out his goal for the year is to get 2,000 receiving yards, breaking Calvin Johnson's record. And A.J. Brown has a little bit something to do with that. So we're going to figure which one of the two is going to get that 2,000 receiving yard mark, and they both have their quest for it. So, but first, remember, new episodes are airing every Tuesday and Friday. It's available on all streaming platforms. And check out the website, sportstalkfromthecrib.com, where you can read the blog posts and stream the podcast on the website as well. And be sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, X, Facebook at Feel the Heat Entertainment. It's Feel the Heat ENT. YouTube now has the podcast streaming. We want to work on getting some video up as well, the kind of visualization. We want to break down some topics of what's going on in the show there on YouTube, but it's officially every single episode is going to be uploaded to YouTube. So make sure you subscribe. It's the channel is at Feel the Heat Entertainment. So go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell over there on YouTube, because that was really is official. YouTube has the podcast section up and running as of now. So that's a great thing to have another option for the show. Officially back on YouTube. So be sure to check that out. First topic of the day, we'll talk about NBA. We haven't talked about the NBA a little bit too much here lately, but the in-season tournament is something the NBA has implemented this year, starting tonight. And so it'll go through December. You play every Tuesday and Friday. It's kind of weird. Everything counts towards the regular season, the stats and whatnot. But as you go through the rounds, you can get knocked out as it goes on. And there will be a trophy for everybody in this in-season tournament. Well, not for everybody, but the winner of it's going to get a trophy in Vegas. It's going to be where the championship game is going to be played. The Final Four teams are going to be in Vegas come December. But the weirdest thing about it is it's not all together. So we're going to still have other regular season matchups aside from this tournament. Why not? A lot of money being thrown around, $500,000 if you come out for each player, if you win the tournament. And now the head coaches and assistant coaches are getting money as well. So a lot of money being thrown around. I'll give you my thoughts on it. It's just kind of confusing still, in my opinion, about it. And I get what the NBA is trying to do. The biggest thing about this is creating interest during the regular season, because that's been not a focal point between the players, especially these last few years, even teams, resting players, not really caring about the regular season, taking a lot of games off, per se. And this is one of the NBA's solutions to try and get people's interest back into the NBA, so specifically players, make it a little bit more watchable with certain matchups and whatnot. So something that the NBA has implemented, I think it may work. I think this actually is going to get players because of the money involved. That it puts another incentive out there for them, and to not rest. Not, my pinky finger hurts, so I'm not going to play tonight type of thing. My ankle's a little sore. I don't want to feel like, I think I'll take the next couple of games off. And that's what's been happening in the NBA over the course of the decade. It's been that long now that it's really been going on in the NBA. Look at the All-Star game. It's everything about the regular season has just become a disinterest for some reason with a lot of players. So I think it's a good idea that kind of just try something. We'll see how it all plays out. Who's my favorite in this in-season tournament? I don't even know if you could pick a favorite. I would probably go with the Bucks, because Dame Lillard and Giannis have gotten out to a pretty good start together, and that tandem is really something to look out for. The Celtics, maybe another team that could give them a run for the money. Them having Porzingis in their starting five has worked well so far this year, and acquiring him. So I guess if I had to pick somebody, I don't know, he's in group plays. There's teams in certain groups and whatnot. So that is pretty much the gist of it all. Because I remember in one of the episodes I discussed the whole thing, broke all it down, different groups and teams. I'm not going to go into really all that because it's kind of confusing just a little bit. But in-season tournament, it's a great idea for the NBA to try something to get everybody involved and hopefully engage the fans more into the sport. Because I feel like the NFL has really taken over lately, especially the World Series happened, right? And there really wasn't a whole lot of interest, it seemed like. The Rangers won their first ever World Series, and there really wasn't a whole lot of coverage on it. It's one of the lowest, I think it was, even game one was the lowest viewed World Series game in the history of the World Series. That's crazy. So this is a way they made it keep that level up over baseball, I guess. Two, maybe engage with the fans a little bit more on a broader landscape too. So I like it. If I had to pick somebody to come out, well, yeah, let's pick the Bucks, I guess. Maybe the Celtics, but we're going to see who really does care as this in-season tournament kicks off. Now, next topic, I'm talking about James Harden. He finally got his wish. So let's break this trade down a little bit. James Harden officially got traded to the LA Clippers. Sixers get Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, a 2028 unprotected first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, a 2029 pick swap, and they got to end up getting another pick somehow through OKC first rounder. So Sixers get in that trade. The Clippers got James Harden and PJ Tucker. So it's not, I guess, who won the trade? Well, the Sixers won the trade because they got rid of this guy. I don't know why he still thinks he's the greatest ball player in the world or something like this. His attitude. Sixers betrayed me. Daryl Morey's a liar. He's this. They didn't want me to be the focal point of the offense and, whatever he was just saying. Because recently he just came on a news conference and was like, he is the system. They're trying to make me part of this system. I didn't want to, be a part of and utilize my skill set. And whatever, James Harden. This is the facts. I don't know why the LA Clippers would even make this trade for him. He wanted to go there. He finally got his wish again. Like he always seems to do when it comes to him wanting out. And, do you know that you quit on your team last year? Do you not remember? You quit in a game 7. You quit in game 6 too. You quit during different games of that series against Boston and cost your team a potential championship. If you would have just played well, you seem to always shrink, and it's been your problem for your whole career. Yes, he's a 10-time All-Star. He's won MVP. He's led the league in scoring. Last year, he actually averaged a triple-double. He averaged 21 points, 10 assists. He led the league in assists. He gets his stats. He's happy with it. And then that's it. This man don't care about winning. He doesn't care about a championship. And now he's going to go to a Clipper team that consists of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's another big-headed dude that this thinks he's him still. And he's not. Realize something, and in this stage of your career. You're not who you once were. You got 15 plus years in the league. Like, you got to realize you're not the same guy no more. Your skill set's not the same. You've gotten older. And this is great for the Sixers to finally just unload this guy, get him out of the building. Now you can focus on Joel Embiid, Maxey, who I thought could have really shined last year if it was for James Harden ball hogging it, and having the ball in his hand like 75+% of the possession all game. Like, come on. James Harden has to realize that you aren't the system, man. The system's left you. You're not the same player. And for him to be this delusional about all this, I don't want him on my team. I don't want this type of guy on my team. He's quit here. He quit in Brooklyn. He quit in Houston. He just got his money and, his check, his stat lines. I look at him as one of the greatest offensive players ever. Never played a lick on defense. Didn't really care about what his teammates were doing. Only about himself. Does this make the Clippers better? No. Will it work in Clipperland? I don't know. Maybe he'll ask by another trade saying he's unhappy by the trade deadline. Who the heck knows? With him. Like, this is ridiculous. Now you got, like, the oldest team. Like, this team would have been probably good about 7-8 years ago. Probably this team look insane. One-on-one ball? Are you going to put up with this all year? Is it going to work? No. Are they actually going to play together as a team? I don't think so. Williams going to get hurt. They're not going to go have all these excuses like, I got to sit out some games. And Kawhi's probably got to sit out a couple weeks. Then Paul George's knee may start hurting. And then Russell Westbrook will be out there by himself trying to get his 30 points, 20 rebounds again like he used to in OKC. And same with James Harden. It's not going to work. That's my thoughts on this trade. Congratulations, James Harden. You finally got your wish again. Too bad you're a quitter. One of the most overrated players in NBA history. I just personally don't care what you do. Go have fun there in LA. So be it. All right. Let's get into some real talk. Let's talk about some football. Before we get into our marquee matchups, I want to talk about the whole receiving yards record that Calvin Johnson holds that Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown are going for. Calvin Johnson holds a wide receiver receiving yards record, 1,964 yards. Now, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, who's going to get it? They're both going for it. Tyreek Hill promised all of us at the beginning of the year that's his goal. And A.J. Brown has been no joke this year either. He wants a part of it. So at the halfway point, let's see where both of these guys are at. Tyreek Hill right now is at 1,014 receiving yards through 8 games. That's 74 yards ahead of Calvin Johnson's pace that he had at the same point when he has the record. A.J. Brown, 939 yards. He's actually had 6 straight games of 125 plus receiving yards. That's an NFL record. So A.J. Brown is pretty much right on there with Calvin Johnson's record, or on pace for it anyways. Tyreek Hill's on pace to shatter the record. If he keeps this up, he'll be about 2,100 some receiving yards if he keeps the pace of the way he's averaging per game. And he's actually averaging, I think, a career best. He's getting like 6-7 yards, after the catch this year. That's something more impressive about Tyreek Hill. So who's going to get it? I really think Tyreek Hill is going to break this receiving record. You got some games. I know we still play at the Jets. You got that Sauce Gardner and the Jets secondary, that defense. It's really good. He may not put up crazy numbers against that defense, but we got the Commanders still on the schedule coming up. We got the Chiefs this weekend in Germany going against his former team. I know he's going to want to really get going in that game and really put on a show. So this could be the Tyreek show come Sunday, starting this week. And he just wants to annihilate them. This former team, he's going to want to put up numbers. So I really do think he's going to get it. AJ Brown, I think he's going to struggle as the second half of the season goes. And it's not really due to his part. It's due to the schedule. I mean, man, this Eagles schedule is just daunting. Of course, you got the Cowboys twice still, including this coming weekend. You got the Chiefs. You got the Bills. You got the Niners. Like the Eagles get a little bit of a tough schedule this second half of the year. Of course, division games can all be, up in the air too. So I think the Eagles just have a more harder schedule and actually going to go up against some great defenses that may prevent AJ Brown from getting close to that. So that's why I'm leaning towards Tyreek Hill. I really think he is going to shatter. He's getting 2,000 receiving yards this year. So no slouch to AJ Brown. He's had an incredible year to start, but it's going to be Tyreek Hill that's going to get this one done. I really believe he's going to get that 2,000 receiving yards. Definitely on pace for it and to shatter it. So definitely I'm going to roll with Tyreek Hill. This is going to be leading into our Week 9 marquee matchups because we're speaking about Tyreek Hill. We're speaking about AJ Brown. So let's get into the matchups we all want to see this Sunday. And we'll start with the Cowboys at the Eagles. 5-2 Cowboys, 7-1 Eagles. This is our Week 9 marquee matchup. Dak Prescott versus Jalen Hurts. It's interesting that last year these two guys didn't play against one another because one of them was hurt. Like Dak Prescott was hurt the first game and Hurts was hurt the second game, I believe. So they were actually going to be facing each other this year for the first time, unlike last year. Points a game, Cowboys 28.1, Eagles 28. They're right neck and neck behind the Dolphins there. So they're second and third in the NFL in points averaging per contest. I think Dak's won the last. Was he won the last 3 matchups that he's faced the Eagles? He's 28-7 versus the NFC East in his career. So Dak has played pretty damn well against divisional opponents. And one of the key matchups, we're talking about receiving records, right? We're talking about receiving yards, quarterback play. Let's look at Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. Of course, if you want to mention AJ Brown, he's trying to get that record too. Lamb has played where they connected on 2 TDs passes last week, 150 plus receiving yards against the Rams. It seemed like the Cowboys offense was gelling finally under Mike McCarthy. Could be one of those weeks where the Rams were just really, really off because their defense isn't that great. As we know, with Prescott on the year is 10 touchdowns, 5 picks. Jalen Hurts has 13 touchdowns and 8 picks on the year for him. He's thrown more interceptions already through the first half of the year than he did all of last year. So that's something to look out for in this matchup. Jalen Hurts and his Eagles offense, are they not going to turn the ball over? Jalen Hurts, is he not going to turn the ball over? Micah Parsons and that crew is going to be coming for him. So it'll be key for that AJ Brown connection to really come up. And the matchup that we'll really watch in this one too is if Dallas is trying to get all that pressure on Jalen Hurts and stop him, look for Dallas Goedert in this game if you're the Eagles. Use the tight end. He can catch the ball too. Try to get some kind of run game going with DeAndre Swift and the guys as well. Not just Jalen Hurts. Don't try to put Jalen Hurts in just passing and running every single time with him. Or just try to pass the ball every time. I feel like that's what this Eagles offense and their identity gets them in trouble. You have to commit to the run You have other players on the team besides A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith on the other side. You got Dallas Goedert. They signed Julio Jones. He got a TD last week, but he was playing against Washington. So I guess everybody's scoring TDs against Washington nowadays. Jack Del Rio is still their defensive coordinator for some damn reason, but that's another story. But that's the matchup to really look for. Hurts utilizing the tight ends. Maybe not even just Dallas Goedert, but use them. Use DeAndre Swift in the run game. Don't get so pass happy. I feel like the Eagles and the Bills, that is their biggest problem. They get so pass happy and try to put everything on their quarterback for him to do every single thing during the game. And that gets them in trouble. That's be a matchup to watch. Dallas pass rush against that one of the best offensive lines of football in the Eagles. And then for the Eagles to utilize their weapons. They got weapons everywhere on offense. Utilize all of them, right? So that's what's to look out for into this game. Who do I got? I mean, that Eagles defense, that secondary has been just giving up everything lately. But would it be shocked if the Cowboys went into Philadelphia and won this game? But the thing is, do we trust the Dallas Cowboys? Because they could put out a lights out game this Sunday and like hold the Eagles to like 10 points, score 24 and win the game. But then on the flip side, it could be absolutely the other way around, where the Eagles score that and the Eagles shut down this Cowboys offense. So I'm going to roll with the Eagles because they're at home. Despite their secondary just giving up points and passing yards. I mean, Sam Howell had 4 TDs and almost 400 passing yards last week against them. So imagine what Dak Prescott in this offense could do against the Eagles defense. Probably could put out the same type of numbers. But do you trust them? They're always an accident waiting to happen. You think they're going to go in here? They turned the corner, had a big win against the Rams, put up 40 points last week, and they literally could come in this game and be like the complete opposite. So I'm going to go roll with the Eagles just because I don't trust. The Cowboys. The Eagles have been getting by. They haven't played like great football, of course, the last few weeks. But they're still 7-1. They find a way to win. They're at home. I'm going to roll with the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, now the next game. It's in Germany. Dolphins at Chiefs. So they're not really playing in Arrowhead. They're in Germany playing this game. And obviously we're going to look at Tyreek Hill. That's the storyline. Tyreek Hill going against his former team. Tua Tagovailoa going against Patrick Mahomes. Tyreek Hill wants the receiving record. And he wants to completely show the Kansas City Chiefs that, hey, you were holding me back there. You were holding me back playing there with Pat Mahomes. So I'm really looking forward to this game. This is our other marquee matchup of the week. You got to pick these two because it's always interesting, you know? Tua Tagovailoa, 2,416 passing yards, 18 TDs, 7 picks on the year. Pat Mahomes, 2,257 passing yards, 15 TDs, 8 picks. So he's another one. Kind of like Hurts. Like, stop turning the ball over. Pat Mahomes is throwing a lot of interceptions this year. It's completely different. Like him and Hurts is up there in interceptions. That was the case. That was not the case last year. Thing that put up in this Dolphins secondary. Xavier Howard is going to play. Jalen Ramsey is going to play. To be the first, Jalen Ramsey made his return last week against the Patriots. This is his second game. Now the Dolphins are going to have their two guys, Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey, healthy and on the field at the same time this year for this game. And that is something to look forward to, something to really watch. This is something in the offseason that we were all looking forward to. I was anyway, about having this cornerback tandem. And now Kader Kohou can go back to playing in the slot, being the nickel guy for the Dolphins. So he's not on an island out there trying to cover this number one guys, because we all know what happens when he does. And it's not very good. So it's be comfortable putting him back in his regular position. You know, he played well last year, filling in. He's for the most part done okay. Devin Holland, The other safety for the Dolphins, I think he cleared concussion protocol. He'll play too. So the Dolphins defense, something to look out for. The Chiefs last week only scored 9 points against the Broncos. Pat Mahomes was sick. Taylor Swift's not in the. Didn't want to go there to Denver or whatever happened for Travis Kelce. Boo hoo hoo. Hey. Oh man, I can't get into all that Taylor Swift nonsense. But anyways, that's what to look forward to on this Dolphins defense being all the way healthy. Can a wide receiver for the Chiefs step up? Rashee Rice is playing really well this year for him. They try to get Mecole Hardman back. He had coughed up a little muff punt last week, but can this Chiefs offense get through on the Dolphins? I don't know, because now the Dolphins can actually pass rush with Jalen Phillips and company and Bradley Chubb, try to get pressure on Mahomes. They have to do that. Never count Pat Mahomes out, but you have to get pressure on him. And that's the matchup to really watch. Can the Dolphins get enough pass rush on Pat Mahomes? And on the flip side, for the Chiefs to win, you got to get the pass rush, of course, on Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins' offensive line is banged up. I don't think it's Aaron Armstead's going to quite play yet. I think he's been practicing, but I don't think he's going to be ready to play yet. So that offensive line is still banged up. Chris Jones and company, can they get through it? Get pressure on Tagovailoa so they can get Tyreek Hill, not let Tyreek Hill get the ball. It's going to be quick outs. Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, their head coach, is getting the ball out of his hands quickly and efficiently. And that's what the Dolphins are going to do this coming. I think it's going to be a little bit high scoring. But I expect Miami Dolphins to really take over this game because I expect their defense to come through and show what this defense is about, because they've been struggling for the most part of this year on that Vic Fangio's new defense. But I expect the Dolphins to come out with a big victory this Sunday because they haven't played well against the winning competition. Both their losses came against winning teams so far this year. All their wins are coming against teams under 500. So when you look at it that way, this is a big opportunity for the Dolphins to come out with a victory against the 6-2 Chiefs. You're 6-2 as well. Come out with a big win that puts you ahead of them. You're trying to get that home field advantage in the playoffs, potentially that number 1 seed. So this game has a lot on the line for both teams. And how the AFC pictures out at the end of the season, this game means a lot to both of them. But I'm going with the Dolphins big in this one. I'm going to go with the Dolphins pretty big. I'm going like 34-17 Dolphins in this one. I really think the Dolphins are going to come alive. I really hope their defense comes alive like potential it has. So I got the Dolphins over the Chiefs in Germany in this one. And that's going to do it for this episode. I want to thank you all for joining me here on Sports Talk from the Crib with your favorite sports host, Tanner Christian. Remember, new episodes are airing every Tuesday and Friday. It's available on all streaming platforms. Be sure to check out the website at sportstalkfromthecrib.com. You stream the podcast on there too. Check out the blog entries and whatnot on the website. And follow us on social media at Feel the Heat Entertainment. It's Feel the Heat ENT. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Thank you all for joining me. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great NFL Sunday. See you all next week.